here in his garage with a lack of a Lamborghini. But you know we have more than materialistic things? Absolute
imagination.
What's up, guys? Jack the Ripoff here. Here with my good buddy Avery from All the Coins Gaming. I am currently here in his garage right now to do this little rant / theorizing sort of deal. So, as you guys know, the big hype by Scott Cawthorn is the latest game for the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise known as Sister Location. Yeah. So, tell us what you know about Sister Location, Avery.
Well, I know everything because I've watched Markiplier's entire playthrough.
I knew.
Which was great. You guys should definitely go watch that. But I really loved the new direction that Scott took with the game. It absolutely worked perfectly.
Absolutely.
I know there was a tiny bit, not as much as you would suspect with this kind of like game genre, being that it's usually just a carbon copy of itself that's just slightly improved. You know, completely
where
different.
You're just sitting in an office pressing buttons and
There were not everybody, a couple people that were like, I don't know if the new thing's gonna work, blah blah blah, but it worked entirely well.
The subtle, it was a very different game made by very subtle changes. And that's what I really liked about Sister Location, because I've also seen the entire playthrough of it. And when it came to Sister Location, the entire deal of it is you're not just sitting in an office looking at cameras and closing doors the whole time. Like, everything you're doing, you're going around this entire facility, to do your work, as this employee. And the whole deal of it is like surviving these animatronics, in their own environment. It's not that they're coming to you, you're going to them and trying to save your ass.
Yeah.
And it really leaves a lot to question, especially with the character of interest being Baby. Baby is, albeit pretty horrifying. For the most part of the game, I wanted to believe that Baby was this good character that wanted to help you and get you out of that situation. And as you know, with the first ending that Markiplier had found, that's not the case.
No, she wanted to steal your skin.
She wanted you to
scoop you right out.
It was interesting, to say the least.
Going back to the environments that you were putting yourself in, one thing that I thought but from a designer's point of view, Scott put a lot of detail into those environments, and also took away every light source in one of those environments. So that speaks to me, because he's he took so much time developing this, area and everything like that, and then he takes away all the light sources, so all you have is this little flash every once in a while. But every time you flash, you realize you're in it's not cut and paste, it's a completely different environment. And that
it really is.
That really,
it's a whole map. It's a whole map area.
I appreciate that as a game.
With different sections of the room that you're in, but you can't see it until you use your little flash beacon. That's horrifying.
Yeah. Oh, and then freaking back to Markiplier with the playthrough, when he was going through the extras and he was like, oh look, there's a map, and it's just this little thing that most people would be like, cool, a map, I pretty much already know what it looks like because I've gone through the whole game, because you beat the game by the time you unlock the extras. And then he's like, oh, there's a little access room. Wait a second.
What does that go to?
Yeah, and you can actually get to it, and there's no way you could have figured that out unless you looked at the map, and the only way you would have looked at the map is just being curious. And
exactly.
Scott rewards curiosity time and time again.
He really does. He really does, cool. And that's the best part about him, is that he has all these hidden little Easter eggs. They're not extremely difficult to find, but it does require a curious mind to find that, that specific item.
Well, and Scott knows that's who he's playing towards too. That's who he's making the games towards. These people that are just and it started with the first one, you got this little indie game that looks so innocent, and then it just opens up into this entire world that just keeps getting deeper the more you dig.
Exactly. And actually, speaking of the indie games like that, kind of going in and digging into it more, there's a game right now, I'm pretty sure it's still in alpha right now. It's called Osiris, and this is a space survival game. Basically, you are stranded on this planet, and you have, it's all just basically survival, gathering materials, that your raw materials, crafting and everything is all in there. But there's a lot of different aspects of that game that is, even though it's an alpha, it seems so well done. Like it can almost be a full game on its own.
I've seen bits and pieces of the playthroughs through that, and I've really found a lot of interest in it. Like I couldn't download it right now. My computer's a piece of crap. It's not going to play that. But I would definitely, if given the chance, play that game as much as I could.
I would play the shit out of that game. I actually plan on getting the alpha to try it out.
Are they doing the alpha for everybody, or are they just kind of sending it out?
It's like $25.
Let's players.
It's like $25 on Steam.
That's not bad. I mean, it's a lot for an alpha, but that's kind of the game.
Such a high quality as. From what I've seen, it being such a high quality, it's worth the $25.
Yeah.
Because like, here's the one thing that I do like about it is like they go very much into the little details. Like you're out in space, you obviously can't breathe in this planet's atmosphere, and so one thing that is a main issue is that when you're attacked by a creature, you have to worry about suit breaches.
Yeah.
So you take on any kind of damage, your suit can get breached, and you're losing oxygen, and so you gotta hightail your ass back to your base so you can patch it up. And like that adds
I feel like they definitely took that from what's that movie, Mars, the one that just came out?
I think so, yeah.
Is that what it's called? I feel really stupid.
No, it's oh shit, it's the one with fucking
Matt Damon.
Oh, but The Martian.
The Martian. I think that inspired a lot of these games.
I really do think so.
Very recently. Because the suit breach was definitely like a very big part of it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like the main thing about obviously in The Martian, he's not fighting back aliens or anything.
But he should have.
But here's the crazy thing. I saw, if I can find the GIF to this, I will put it in this video, like on the side or something like that. But I saw this one where this guy was running through and like the ground started shaking, and all of a sudden this just monstrous worm monster just came out. And I mean, like to put in perspective, the distance from which this worm emerged was enough to span over 3 football fields, and within its arc reached the guy. That's how big this fucker was.
Yeah, my computer.
If I can find that GIF, I'm gonna put it up on here on the screen. Because it's horrifying. I saw that.
Is everything like pre-programmed, or is it like random gen with some of the?
I believe a lot of it's randomly generated. I don't want to say everything's pre-programmed.
Yeah. Because
you don't see a lot of pre-programmed stuff nowadays.
No. Yeah,
most everything is randomly or sequentially generated. So I'm pretty sure it's pretty much all randomly generated. It's just a matter of where you are when the event happens.
Well, if that's the case, that's a very unlucky man to run into
a giant
3-bus-sized creature.
Oh, more than 3 buses. This is like 3 football fields. It's enormous. I saw this thing, I was just like, holy fuck. But for it being an alpha and not even completely finished yet, it looks amazing, and I have such high hopes for it.
Yeah. You said it's worth $25?
I think it's around $25. I'd have to double check. I'm not 100% certain.
That's pretty weird, because last time I checked, No Man's Sky is worth $60 and it's not even finished.
Oh wow.
Boom! Drop the mic.
That's a burn, son.
Oh my gosh, that game has created so much hate. Actually, no, I would coin that.
It's hate hype.
Hate hype. It's hate. Oh my god.
That's a new word. Hate.
Hashtag hate. No, that game has received so much hate in the past, since it released. It was like day 2. It came out and people were like,
"This game sucks.
This game's not the game we wanted."
It wasn't. That's the problem.
I can't lie though. I am addicted to the gifs of what's his name? Who? I can't even remember the creator now. Steve?
I don't know.
I don't even
the
care.
Creator
I really don't care to know. Yeah, I don't even. Sean.
Is it Sean?
It's got to be Sean.
Okay.
I want to say Sean. It definitely starts with an S, but regardless, that just shows how much I've just disregarded. I have this game downloaded. I pre-ordered it, downloaded it, played it for 2 days, and was like, you know what? I've got better things to do than run around in an empty void.
Exactly, and that's pretty much what it is. The multiplayer is broken.
There is no multiplayer. The box actually says single player. There's no network, no nothing. You just need network connection to be able to be like, oh, this guy discovered this planet before me. That sucks.
Yeah, and the sequential generation. What, am I saying that right?
Sequential generation? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, the sequentially generated planets, they start repeating itself after like the third planet.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't even know how to say it. Like it's like it reminds me a lot of like the ending of Mass Effect.
Oh yeah.
Where
very
where it's like multiple endings and they're all just colors, and that's what I feel like every time I go to a new planet. It's like there's tons of different planets. This one's blue, this one's red, and this one's gonna hurt you, and this one's boring. Like
exactly.
Jesus, man, come on, give me something to actually work with.
Well, that's also the same with the creatures as well. Is like you end up meeting a lot of the same generated creatures. Some of them are just weird as fuck.
Yeah, if you're gonna do random gen, definitely make sure that you have some kind of stipulation on like how ridiculous your little creatures can be. Because I'm just
there's some ridiculous.
Like when you accidentally randomly generate like jumping pineapples, I think you've done something wrong with your random gen.
Jumping pineapples. Well, there's this one. It was like it had like the head of a T-Rex and then like the body of like an antelope, but it walked on its hind legs with its front legs like this. It looks so derpy and dorky and stupid. I was just like, "Are you serious?" Like when you look at the pre-release commercial that they made for it.
No, they don't even start with the pre-release commercial. Like you just like there's so many lies, so many lies.
It's so many lies. It is a commercial of lies and deceit.
And I can't lie, like I'm addicted to the freaking gifs of him, the creator, just laughing and saying like, no, yes, of course. Like, I'm a bad liar. That man is a terrible liar. That he just like every time someone asks him a question, he'll laugh for like 30 minutes and then give a one-worded answer and then laugh for another 30 minutes and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna believe him.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Whatever, bro.
I don't know. It's kind of scary because like that's how indie companies are taking approaches now. They have been given a standard now by No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Basically saying we can release full games, and all we have to do is say this game's gonna be awesome because of this, and this, and then not have to worry about it.
Yeah. And then when it doesn't happen, just
that's going to ruin the gaming community.
It really
just like
is.
It did back in like what was the big crash of video games way back in.
I don't even remember which one was that.
It was centered around E.T. No Man's Sky is legitimately the E.T.
The new
of
E.T.
our generation.
It is. They're gonna find the most desolate part of a desert.
Oh my God, they so
dig
will.
a big hole.
They really will.
And dump everything No Man's Sky related into that hole and bury it.
Oh my God, they're probably going to do that.
I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised in the least bit. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually dug up the E.T. games and were like, we're gonna put these somewhere else so we can put No Man's Sky here.
Exactly. It's just
we're gonna try and recycle this stuff because this stuff's not too bad, and then No Man's Sky
be gone forever. Like I tell you what, once Osiris becomes a full game, like No Man's Sky is gonna be nothing.
I have to give like appraisal to the guys who created Osiris because I really think that was a product of pure like hatred towards No Man's Sky. They were like, No Man's Sky.
They wanted to make Osiris. They wanted to make Osiris everything that No Man's Sky said they were going to be, and then weren't.
Yeah.
Because No Man's Sky never delivered. Osiris isn't even a full game yet, and it is delivering tenfold.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that there are people that are doing that. There are people that are like, oh, No Man's Sky sucked. Oh well, we'll just wait for the next big game. No, because the next big game's not going to come out until you make it.
Exactly, and that's kind of the main thing. Is like that's what I am looking forward to with the indie game community is the fact that you have all these different imaginations and minds that can create all these different things. And sorry, I'll just make sure we're still recording. But yeah, like as long as there's still those imaginative minds that have all these great ideas and have the drive to actually make what they are imagining, then I really am looking forward to it and all that. So
yeah, indie game. It's gonna make or break the game community.
Yeah.
I remember when indie game first became like a thing because it wasn't because it happened during our generation of growing up with video games.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden there were these companies that weren't huge, but actually, you know what? I'm gonna backtrack. I'm gonna accredit every single indie game company back to the old school web browser games like board.com or what's that? Newgrounds.
Newgrounds was a big one.
Yeah,
I was on Newgrounds so much as a kid.
And people were like, people are actually playing my game when I put it on the internet. And then they started hiring people, taking more time, making bigger games.
Oh,
and
yeah.
now all of a sudden you got these companies that are being run by people our age and doing successful things. And
it's amazing.
It makes me really happy that we're getting to kind of witness it firsthand.
Exactly. It's freaking amazing. I kind of want to go back to Sister Location again. Before we decided to make this video, we were kind of doing our own little theorization and stuff on Sister Location. So my main question about it is, and I haven't seen what MadPat's done on it. I know he's done a lot of theory on it already for...
Has he already started his
theories? Oh yeah, he was on that fast. He was on that shit like bam.
Oh my god.
But, because he's done a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's theory. Like, a lot.
Well, yeah, but I know he scripts his stuff. God dang, that was quick.
Yeah, he was on that shit quick.
Well,
but see, my main question is that where within the timeline does Sister Location begin? Because
I've got my answers for that.
Yeah, he has his answer, but I kind of want to say, like, to me, it doesn't seem like it takes place during any of the existing Freddy Fazbear's pizzas. It seems to me like after the second location of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza got shut down, then Sister Location came around. That's what I think. Now, as that leads also to the question of, so then where does that leave Baby in the main ending where you get scooped out and she steals your body?
Yeah, because I think everyone's pretty much in agreement. The character you're playing as in Sister Location is Dr. Afton.
Dr.
Who everybody knows is Purple Guy as well.
Yep.
He was the creator of, the robots, all of them, which kind of explains why there's only a couple when you think about it. Like, so Freddy Fazbear has tried to become like a chain.
Yeah.
And they only had, as far as we know, like, I don't know,
2 restaurants.
Two restaurants, but speaking in terms of robots, they had the 2 originals, Golden Freddy, Golden Bonnie, and then they had the main franchise, which was kind of like where
Freddy,
they become brand.
Foxy, and
yeah,
Chica.
They became the brand. So now you've got like 6, and then they've got like the fun time versions, and then Sister Location. That's not a lot for a guy who owns a company that's running like a robotic business and only creating that many that are incorporated in Five Nights at Freddy's. Well, Freddy Fazbear's. Yeah. No one calls the restaurant Five Nights at Freddy's.
No, that'd be horrifying. I would not take my child there.
But it seems to me, I don't even remember where I was going with this, but I'm just gonna roll with it.
Just go.
But it seems a little bit fishy to me that those were the only robots created, and then Dr. Afton apparently, I'm gonna assume the first ending is canon, second ending is alternate universe, which is what they usually do for pretty much all
the
Five
ending
Nights at
that you
Freddy's.
want to happen.
So yeah, ending that you want to happen is the one where you go into the secret access room and you survive. You survive, and that's the alternate ending. That's the good ending. But the bad ending is usually the one that actually happened according to canon story. And according to that, Purple Guy is scooped, and Baby takes his spot, which in my head raises a lot of questions because, as we know, Purple Guy is the one doing everything. He's the main antagonist. The robots are really just bystanders and a creation of the original antagonist, which is Purple Guy. So why? In my mind, it makes absolute sense then that Baby, pretending to be Purple Guy, then goes on killing Rampage, stuffing kids into suits because that's exactly what she did, except the opposite.
Yeah,
she stuffed herself into a suit. Now she's stuffing kids into a suit.
Well, because remember, according to the gameplay, once you feed all the cupcakes to the kids, and you get that ice cream cone, go back to the beginning, you lay out an ice cream cone, the little girl comes up, and you eat her.
Yeah,
essentially.
And I don't know what happens after that. Some people are saying she turns into ice cream, which I think is awful.
That's horrifying. Because she was alive when she got, sucked into that robot.
Oh my god.
See, that makes me, puts goosebumps on me just thinking about that shit. Like, no thank you. But see, the thing is that was Dr. Afton's daughter.
Right.
It is pretty much canon now that girl that was killed by Baby was Dr. Afton's daughter. And which is why we're both assuming that Dr. Afton took that job because he wanted to shut them down.
Right. Our main idea behind the theory is the fact that, and I think a lot of people are starting to kind of come to this conclusion as well. The sister location was already shut down for a good time. I'd say almost like 2 years, maybe 3 years tops. And so everything's broken down. That's why things are, and it was probably abandoned fairly quickly as well. Because nothing's shut down unless you're gonna get into some kind of crazy, like the robots became sentient and all kinds of crap stuff, and that's why
essentially they did become a sentient.
Yeah, but the idea is that Dr. Afton went into the sister location to shut down Baby because Baby killed his daughter, and in turn Baby was like, oh sweet, my creator's here, I'm going to scoop him.
I'm going to
scoop him.
Right. Nah, but I mean, like, that's essentially what happened. And at the ending of the main ending, the main storyline ending, the one you don't want to happen, but that's the canon storyline, is that you got scooped, Dr. Afton got scooped, Baby took over his body, and then you see the guy's body goes in front, opens his eyes, and it's
Baby.
And it's Baby's eyes.
Also, purple guy, skin wise.
So, what he was telling me about his theory is that, and it blew my mind when it first told me, but it still raised my own questions as to where in the timeline sister location actually exists, which is why I want to look back on MatPat to see if he figured anything out about that. But what he said is that Baby is the one doing all the killing.
Right.
Not purple guy.
So you got, so my place for sister location is before Five Nights 1, because in Five Nights 1, that's when you've got people being like, oh, the suits smell weird, like blood and blah, 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 because the idea is children are getting stuffed into the suits.
Yep.
That is what I think is Baby's first move. I think she immediately goes to the original location where there's 4 suits, and she takes the kids as purple guy and puts them in the suits. So that's why people are like, oh, purple guy, aka phone guy. Is that right? Phone guy is purple guy?
Pretty sure phone guy is Dr. Afton.
Yeah, everybody is pretty much under the assumption. Well, actually, that
it is under the assumption
too.
it is under the assumption though, because like, he's normally holding the phone.
Unless, but well, that was kind of a weird thing too. That was kind of a stretch in my opinion of the whole like, oh, he's holding a phone. I personally think phone guy is probably just a pre-recording of a lot of stuff, like, because companies do that. No one would just leave a message every single time. Like, you have to be able to get a hold of somebody eventually.
Yeah.
So, but scrap all of that. Personally, it makes sense to me that Baby, pretending to be Dr. Afton, aka Purple Guy, goes in, pretends to be a worker there. I feel like she could easily pull that off as a disguise, and stuffing kids into the suits, and that's where we get the idea that, oh, Purple Guy is putting kids in the suits, and it's actually Baby, not Dr. Afton, because Dr. Afton wasn't
a killer.
When you get down to like the philosophical ideas of the characters, Dr. Afton never killed. He created robots that killed.
Maybe,
but he never killed
or
himself.
unintentionally, we don't know.
Dr. Afton has never been said to have actually taken kids and murdered them.
Stuffed them into suits.
So it sounds more robotic. Like, no one would even. That's not even an efficient way, really, of like doing something like that.
No, it's
like
not.
That's more of a personal vendetta, and the only person that would have a personal vendetta and be able to do that would be Baby.
Okay. Now, I just actually thought of something new on this, and we won't dwell too long into this because we're kind of getting short on time. But my question is, in the first 3 Five Nights at Freddy's, it was assumed that the spirits of the children took over the suits. Remember?
Right. Yes, that's true. Yes.
What if, when Baby's robot took in the daughter possessed Baby's robot?
Possibly. I was actually, as soon as you said that, I was thinking we might have a potential candidate for the puppet as well.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Maybe.
I think a lot of people are under the assumption that the puppet is supposed to be the kid that was bit.
Yeah, the kid that was bitten.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of... Oh, goodness. Now
That's
we're getting into all kinds of mess.
There's just so much in this. We would have to make a full-fledged video on nothing but this to really bring out all the discussion on it. Because we're not going to be able to do it in this video.
But, actually that would make sense. Because... I say it makes sense in like a really weird, messed up, twisted way. But it would kind of make sense if Baby gets killed, or Baby kills the girl. The girl embodies Baby. Baby kills Dr. Afton and scoops him and becomes part of him, and then starts doing all the stuff. And then
stops more children.
At the same time, the bite of 87 happens, killing the kid, who then becomes the puppet, who then tries to save the kids.
The bite of 87 actually killed the kid. Remember, they were talking about how...
Eventually, I believe it killed the kid. Or, some people
survived.
were saying that he survived.
It's crazy how people can survive without the frontal lobe of the brain. Remember that he specifically said that in the phone call about the incident happening.
That's true, yeah, he did survive without the frontal lobe.
So then who's the puppet is another question. Now, there was one in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, I believe it was, where that kid got murdered outside of the restaurant. Remember that? It was like one of the little 8-bit video things. You see a kid on the outside of car pulls up. Suddenly the kid like.
Oh
dies.
yeah. Car pulls up. Phone guy.
Pretty much.
Quick little, and then he's dead. Yeah.
A little fart stuff.
Oh, and you know what too? We can definitely assume that Dr. Afton's daughter was in the latest actual Five Nights at Freddy's game. She was the girl with the pigtails with the green eyes.
Oh my god.
Because Dr. Afton...
It looked like her
Not only did it look like her, it looked exactly like her, but Dr. Afton said he created Baby in the image of his daughter.
That's right.
Yeah.
He did create Baby in the image of his daughter.
I would, though, like to go back and look at... man. It could... So... I don't remember exactly. I'm fairly positive. The girl that gets scooped by Baby doesn't actually look like Baby. I think she's like blonde with like one ponytail.
Maybe.
Because it would look kind of weird if you had Baby and then a girl that looked exactly like Baby and scooped. You know what I mean? Like, or sucked.
Sucked in. That's still a horrible way to die. The thing that fucked me over about watching that part when Baby took in that girl is the scream when it happened. I was just like, what the fuck? Oh, and also the fact that when you're moving around, everything's all blocky in 8-bit style. But the second it takes that girl, it's like 60 frames per second death.
Yeah, it's done.
It's just like...
But yeah, so maybe there's a chance that wasn't actually Dr. Afton's daughter. Hear me out. It could have potentially been Baby, the robot.
You think so?
In a kid's eyes, it might have just looked like another kid that looked a little weird. You know,
maybe.
Imagination-wise. I mean, he's talking to a freaking ghost bear with glowing eyes.
Yeah.
I don't see why he wouldn't just be like, oh, there's robot kids now, sure.
Yeah, and the fact that he's going through his nightmare sequences of all the killer animatronics coming into his room.
So, which would mean that Sister Location has to be actually fairly close to the original location as well.
Well, remember, in the Easter egg, when you're in the, when Markiplier made it to the secret room, he punched in that code, and on the screen appeared the rooms from Five Nights at Freddy's 4. You don't remember that?
I do remember that, but I kind of don't remember that at the same time.
Yeah, well, the 3 monitors.
Yeah.
When he punched in the code, the image popped up of the child's home from Five Nights at Freddy's 4. So what correlation does that have, is my question.
Oh, also, who the fuck is freaking the dude with the party hat? Like, where did he even come from?
Yeah, like, he's completely new.
Yeah, they kind of like tossed him in as like an extra.
His name's Ennard.
Yeah, like innards.
Yeah, like we're assuming it's like innards.
That's gotta be.
I mean, like, I can't really think of anything else. But you can't just automatically assume because
he's made out of innards. He's made out of just that's it, and then he's got a little face.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a second. Do you guys remember the paper plates?
The paper plates?
Remember the paper plates?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't remember the paper? So there's... We'll pull them up on the screen if we have to. Okay. There's Paper Plate Freddy, Paper Plate Bonnie, and then a random paper plate that nobody really knows. They kind of said maybe Balloon Boy, but they weren't for sure. And he was wearing a party hat. Just like Ennard.
What the fuck?
So Ennard was a part of the original Five Nights at Freddy at one point.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That just what? Oh my.
I'll have to show you that, and we're gonna pull it up on the screen.
Yeah, it'll be up on the screen.
I know for the hardcore Five Nights at Freddy fans, they know exactly what I'm talking about. It's Paper Plate Freddy, Paper Plate Bonnie, and then Paper Plate Dude with a party hat, and that's exactly what Ennard looks like.
Oh my god.
So he was definitely...
He was an original member of the Five Nights at the Freddy Fazbear crew.
Yeah, and I don't know if Scott like went back and was like, oh, you know what, I should probably throw him in there too, or if this has been planned for a really long time.
No, knowing Scott, he probably had this planned the whole time.
Yeah. All right, well, we're running out of time, so...
Yeah, we're reaching the end of our video, guys, but, you know, as always, if you want to put in your own theorizing or kind of talk about anything we spoke about in this video, obviously put it down in the comments, and
don't be shy.
Take a look. Yeah, we love making conversations, so let us know what you think, anything you want to bring up about the video. If you like that video, hit the like button. If you want to see more like this, hit the subscribe button. I'd like to see you guys come back for more because I love making these kind of videos. And until my next video comes out, this is goodbye for now.
Yep, and don't forget to check out all the coins.
Definitely check out Avery from All the Coins.
Link in the description below.
It will be down below.
See you guys.
See ya.
Rock the boat.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look over, aren't I? Ah! What the fuck?